Hello, Ray Phoenix here again. This time around I'm drawing one of my most popular, most famous characters on DeviantArt, Larry the Robot. Larry the Robot was originally intended to be a sidekick for a robot boy I created named Justin, who appeared in a bunch of cartoon epics that I've created, written, drawn. Larry the Robot is intended to be a comic relief side character, like a sidekick character. You know, like all great heroes need a sidekick, kind of like what Glowbox is to Rayman. Like that kind of character. But whenever I draw something of Larry the Robot and put it on DeviantArt, it seems to get a download every time I put that on DeviantArt, and possibly more favorites and hits and views. Some of the things that really made my DeviantArt account get a lot of views, a lot of hits. So that's why this character interests me particularly. I have all the many characters I created. This one interests me a lot for that very reason. So I gave him more roles in stories and things that I write about. So there's Larry the Robot, you see right there. There's Drew. There's a comedian robot. Was my occupation's a comedian. And right here next to him is Justin, the main hero of the story that Larry the Robot is from. So Justin's a robot boy that fights crime, basically. He fights evil villains, and he fights evil masterminds and crooks that try to attack his city of whatever city he's in. He doesn't actually live in one city. He actually goes to different cities. He's lived in a few cities over the course of his time. So yes, they're like hero and sidekick. And right here is Dr. Livingston, the creator of Justin and Larry. He used to work for the regional craft research team, but then eventually he left so he could become his own self-employment, essentially. But yes, he created Larry the Robot to be a sidekick for Justin. He did create Justin, the original robot boy character. And he was also rivals with Dr. Member. He's one of the main villains from the classic Justin series. He's like the Dr. Wily of the Justin series, and this guy's more like the Dr. Light of the Justin series, kind of like Dr. Wily and Dr. Light and Mega Man. There, so you can see, looks like your typical lab worker, your lab engineer, robotics builder, whatever you call them. So next up here, of course, like any heroes, regardless of what they are, all characters need villains, right? I just said earlier, they have villains. Of course they have villains. Any good character would have villains. Would have a villain of some sort. Otherwise, the series they're in, or show they're in, or production, or whatever it is they're in, would be pretty dang boring if it was like that. So, of course, as you know, there will be bad guys for them to fight. Larry the Robot's gonna have to go after some bad guys of his. As you can see with the angry look in his face, the face that he gives when he's going off to fight some bad guys, some baddies is what some people would call them. He would go and pow with his fist. He is really strong, because robot characters are typically stronger than human characters. So you take a fist and you'd punch Space Lord in the face. Space Lord's an evil god that lives out in space, and his main purpose in life is to make everyone in the universe live in misery and live in pain and suffering over non-existent problems, where he makes them look existent in their minds. And look at this, he wears a suit with two ties, not just one. Regular people wear one tie. Oh no, Space Lord's too good for that, so he wears two ties. And of course, Larry the Robot is going to go off to fight some other bad guys too. Like he's going to go and pow, and who is he going to pow this time? Why, of course, it is going to be Tammy Newborn. Who else? Of course he's going to fight Tammy Newborn. I did make him fight Tammy Newborn on DeviantArt. I made him fight a bunch of crazy villains. I even made him fight Galactus once on DeviantArt. But I'm not going to do that here right now, because you don't necessarily want to see it. If you're interested in seeing more of this Larry the Robot, just go on DeviantArt and type in Larry the Robot, and I can assure you there will be a lot of more action scenes like this. So he goes, as I said, he's going after Space Lord on one hand and Tammy Newborn on the other hand. I see Tammy Newborn's wearing a shirt that says 4 Kids Rules, because of course he's Tammy Newborn. What else would he support? Cartoon Network? Nickelodeon? No, he's all about 4 Kids. So now, in this other last little story here, Larry the Robot goes to an asteroid in Earth's orbit, like a piece of rock, a space rock, On the space rock, he finds a news reporter that I drew last time, George Ferrier, but this time George Ferrier is frozen in a cube of ice, as you'll see in a moment. The news reporter from Jason and Mason, Norian Island, and Odyssey of Oddities, as other cartoons I write about. And he works for DDD News. Apparently, actually is a DD News somewhere, like in the Middle East. There's a news agency called DD News. But mine's not DD News, mine's DDD News. It's that extra D that makes all the difference. Remember that now. The extra letters always make the difference. You know, like 0.0. I have a lot of socks that say 0.0 on them. I have a few others that say 0.0 on them, which is obviously a rip-off of them or like a knockoff made by some Chinese company. So, you know, it's a lot of people do. You know, a lot of people just make their own, and they just change one letter, so they're one letter away from copyright infringement. Not that people really care about copyright infringement, infringing on a copyright. Come on, since many people ever care about infringing on a copyright? So that's like a big container of ice or a cube of ice out on a planet. And of course, Larry the robot's going to be the one that discovers George Ferrier buried, hidden in the cube of ice. And of course, as you may have noticed this whole time, I've been drawing this in China marker this whole time. So that means if I make one single mistake, I have to start all over again. That's what it's like to draw in China marker. It's a challenge, a really big challenge for a skilled, masterful drawer like myself. Well, I'm not that masterful yet. I mean, I'm not Butch Hartman or anyone like that, or Walt Disney, or Van Gogh, or Mozart or anyone like that. I'm not anyone like that yet. But I probably will be someday if I keep practicing. I've done a lot of drawing. Like I said, I recommend you go on DeviantArt and go look up Ray Phoenix 01. That's what I'm called on DeviantArt. If you're interested in seeing any more of my works. So yeah, there's stars in the background because it's in space. It's a rock out in space in orbit. So yes, that's the last story for today, last picture for today. I hope you all enjoyed this. Ray Phoenix signing out.